All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about the neuroscience of success. Have you ever wondered what really separates the good from the truly exceptional? Well, the answer might just be hiding in the way our brains are wired. So let's get into it. This is the big question, isn't it? Do people at the absolute top of their game, the billionaires, the innovators, do they have some kind of special hardware? Are their brains just different? That's the exact idea we're going to tackle. And I think the answer is going to surprise you. And this quote from neuroscientist Dr. Sweta really hits the nail on the head. See, it turns out success isn't about being born with some magical brain. It's about learning to run better software on the amazing hardware you already have. It's all about changing your focus, your habits, and basically rewiring your reality. To do that, first we need to understand the two competing forces that are always at work inside our heads. You can almost think of it like a constant tug-of-war between our ancient, super-reactive instincts and our modern, logical mind. So on one side, you have your limbic system. Let's call it the scanner. This is your brain's ancient alarm system. It's constantly scanning for threats, and it's responsible for that whole fight, flight, or freeze response. On the other side is the prefrontal cortex, which we'll call the CEO. This is our modern human superpower. It handles emotional control, choices, and commitment. One reacts on instinct, the other responds with intention. Now, here's the crazy part. Research shows that for most of us, that reactive scanner is running the show about 80% of the time. Think about that. That means we're living most of our lives in a loop of worry, regret, and anxiety. So the real question becomes, how do we flip that number and put our CEO in charge where it belongs? Well, the whole process kicks off the second you wake up. Seriously, that first hour of your day is absolutely critical for deciding who's going to be in the driver's seat, the anxious scanner or the focused CEO. So let's look at a simple way to prime your brain for success right from the start. And this is it, the mover's routine. But don't worry, this isn't some complicated hour-long thing you'll give up on. Each of these steps can take as little as 5 minutes. M is for meditation, just to calm your mind. O is for oxygenation, basically simple deep breathing. V is for visualization, E for a little bit of exercise, R for reading something positive, and S for scribing, just writing down and getting rid of whatever's not serving you. And hey, don't sleep on that V for visualization. It is incredibly powerful. Get this. In one amazing study, they found that pianists who only visualized practicing showed nearly the same amount of growth in their brain as the ones who actually physically practiced. Your brain often can't tell the difference between something you vividly imagine and something that's real. That's a straight-up superpower. Okay, so you've upgraded your morning. But how do we keep making our brains stronger and more resilient every single day? Well, it's not about these huge, overwhelming changes. It's actually about small, consistent challenges. The concept is called neurobotics. Yep, kind of like aerobics, but for your neurons. The whole goal is to break out of your regular, boring routine. See, routines are comfortable, but they put your brain on autopilot. And as Dr. Adia says, monotony literally kills the brain. Neurobotics are the cure. They wake it right up. And the coolest part is just how simple this is. You can start right now. Tonight, try brushing your teeth with your non-dominant hand. It feels super weird, right? Well, that feeling is your brain building new connections. Or take a different route home from work. Even just moving your trash can to the other side of your desk forces your brain to create a new circuit. It's all about these small, multisensory curveballs. This quote really just sums it all up. If you want to optimize your brain, you have to challenge it with new things, new sights, new feelings, new processes. That's what builds mental muscle and prevents cognitive decline. It gives your brain a reason to keep working and growing. Okay, so let's bring this all home and get back to that first big question. What is the real secret behind the so-called billionaire brain? The secret, well, it isn't having a different kind of brain. It's not some genetic lottery ticket that only a few people win. The actual hardware, the fundamental potential, is pretty much the same for all of us. The real secret is mastery. It's about consistently training the brain you were given. It's about strengthening that CEO part of your brain day in and day out until it is running the show, not your reactive scanner. It's about building so much resilience that when you fail, you see it as data, as a stepping stone, not a stop sign. So the key takeaway here is this.
You have the same fundamental equipment as the most successful people on the planet. The capacity is already there. Your potential isn't limited by your biology, it's just waiting to be unlocked by your habits.
And that really just leaves us with one final thought. Knowing that you possess this incredible, adaptable tool